Welcome back, you guys. We do have a guest here. His name is Cyber. Did you tell Cyber?
Hi.
Okay. Yeah, so we got some stuff to talk about. We're really behind. Sorry about that. We've been busy.
Yes.
Busy as a
Let's
fucking bee.
start with the first on our to-do list.
Una.
No, I think we're
Una,
talking...
there we go. Thank you.
Oh, okay, we are talking about Una first. Oops. Wee.
She just came out. What do we think of her? Well, let's play her first, obviously.
Fair. Let me play a little bit of her.
Let's take a listen first.
'I love her.
I don't know how to feel about her.
Yeah, she's nice.
I don't know how to feel about her.
I can get that. I like that she has vocal modes that feel very much like herself, but also vocal modes that kind of feel like something entirely new.
So I know there are people out there, and I know y'all know who I am, and I'm gonna say it here too. Personally, I am not quite fond of how realistic she is. I feel like that kind of just. I feel like she doesn't sound like Uda as much anymore.
Okay,
Like some vocal modes just sound like a whole new person to me.
Oh, I get that.
Like it's
I've
not
noticed
really
that.
for me.
I get
Her
that.
bass vocal kind of doesn't sound like Una at all. It's like when you get to like some of them really are Una-esque, like the power one.
Yeah.
Something I noticed someone said is like her attack is more like Una, but then it kind of just like mellows out. And so I think she loses a lot of her Una sound, which could just be like her voice provider getting older. But she sounds kind of like Una more grown up rather than just Una on AI.
This video basically displays her auto pitch, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm
Well, no, that doesn't look like auto pitch.
It doesn't look like auto pitch, but the vibrato is like throwing me off a bit. And like to say that I'm not the biggest fan of Synthie's auto pitch is kind of an understatement. I really fucking hate Synthie auto pitch.
Too.
I can tell that there are some points where auto pitch was used, definitely. So it was tuned on top of the auto pitch, but I'd be curious to see how her bass auto pitch is, because if it's anything like Tedo's auto pitch with that dramatic ass vibrato, like that's not going to be doing her any favors. I also am not a fan necessarily of how the Synthie engine noise itself, because she kind of sounds flat on it.
I get that.
That was something I noticed with
The
her
Synthie
V6
engine noise,
too.
in my opinion, is very staticky.
Synthie engine noise does well for certain banks, and it doesn't do so well for others. But I feel like Una's voice really lends itself to the Vocaloid engine.
Yeah, the things with Una I've noticed on her AI banks are just she sounds very lifeless in them. Like her V6, it sounded like she was like trying to sing through a depression. And Synth V fixes a lot of that, but it's still kind of, like she's not as expressive as she usually is.
With V6, you can still make her very expressive. but her synthwave kind of sounds like she doesn't want to be there.
I mean, I just feel like she's a very mixed bag. Some people are gonna love her, and some of us just aren't.
She's
Honestly,
definitely.
I think it's because of the fact that Synthie mixes their voices with like the bass voice of the engine, so it's not just Una there; it's Synthie engine too.
Yeah, she's definitely a very mixed bag, but I'm excited to see her release, and I'm excited to see how people will use her and how people will take Synthie's engine into account versus how they would like use Vocaloid. Overall, the two engines are very different, and it definitely does show through Una.
Any more closing thoughts on Una before we move on?
Me personally, I am excited to see how she releases because she's one of the more popular voice banks. Because we saw with Gumi, she didn't really do that well, but I feel like Una's going to bring a lot more attention to how different AI banks can sound from the Vocaloid banks and kind of like push a narrative like, oh, maybe we should still keep making Concat banks because some voices do just fare better on that.
Oh, Gumi. Gumi, you lived and died on Concave, girl. I'm sorry. Okay, moving on. Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, Concave, it has its strengths, especially if you don't know how to sing, especially there. But moving on, we have Hibiki Koto.
I'm very surprised she went to Synth V so quickly, or just left Vocaloid so
Me
quickly.
too, honestly.
Yeah, it was so
I was not
fast.
expecting that.
But I'll
else?
play a little sample of her Synth V voice mate. This is Orange Moon by Nejishiki.
舌で味わった夜匂い知れても酔いどれて低い沸点で責めないで耳元で溶かせ愛の美薬ほらだんだん空が落ちちゃって電池無用二度と戻れなくなっちゃうような限界値さそう二人ここで消えちゃいましょう脳内麻薬溢れるハートシェイクしてゆらゆらに揺れて一つになれ切なの恋なんてわかってるわクラクラするほどに癒されても予感するバッドエンド悲しみの
Mother.
She.
I love her so much. I think Synthvi handles her voice very well. Like, she sounds very full and bassy, and also her accent is really, really addictive.
I love the way that, as I was just talking about, Synthvi's engine noise really lends itself to Hibiki Koto's voice, and Hibiki Koto definitely lends herself to the engine. On V6, she sounded very interesting, but also a lot less full. Design, very cute, everything,
Really?
but Hibiki Koto sounds a lot more like she wants to be here on the Synthvi engine. And it's just incredibly interesting to see the difference between these two engines, but I am glad to see a lot more dual releases.
Yeah.
See, personally, I feel like becomes more airy and more airheaded than chesty that she is in V6, which is, I don't know why, I just kind of like more bass chest voices, because if anybody knows me, you know I use Ryokune a lot, so you know I love that kind of thing. Her synth is giving more just dynamic, and like the V6 is just more power oriented,
That's understandable.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's. I would say that that's at base, because if you were to look at her vocal modes, she can get a lot more chesty. Though, what Synthvi's strength, I think, comes in the way that it does handle dynamics. It handles dynamics differently than a lot of other engines that I've used, especially when it comes to multiple different parameters like, breath and tension. And I think that's just because of the way that it was designed. It's very familiar for Utah users like myself because, it was made by fucking Kanru Hua. So anybody who's used More Sampler has an idea of how Synthie's parameters work. Essentially, like, getting a Vocaloid on Synthie is kind of the equivalent of having that Vocaloid in Utah with More Sampler, in a way.
Yeah, in a way, I can see that.
In a way. And I think that's something that not a lot of the community likes to hear.
Now, why would they feel that way? What?
People don't like Utah.
And they're crazy for it. Do you have anything else to say about Hibiki Koto?
With Hibiki Koto, I'm not a personal fan of her voice, but I do understand why she is like very amazing. And I think it's very interesting because we don't have a lot of her vocal type at all. She's very full, unlike Eleanor. She has a mature sound, and she sounds like she can handle her voice very well, which is something that I don't see in a lot of character vocals. I see a little bit in the synth V bass vocals or Dreamtonic ones, but it's just not something that you see a lot. So it's really nice to see that they're deviating, and actually the results of them deviating are this great.
Something to note, for unique vocal types, I believe Hibiki Koto is still a soprano. But she does have that sort of chesty timbre, which is a bit harder to find in higher ranged vocalists, since they tend to be more nasal.
So we have Miku NT. She finally got an update after 4 years. After 4 years, I don't... You know what, let me calm down, because...
Don't ask her where her friends are.
They're dead. They're dead. That's where they are.
They're locked in Krypton's
Okay.
basement, let's be honest.
Okay, let's be positive, because this is actually... Well, let's just play it.
Yeah. This is a cover by KVL Music.
振動変数で繰り返す例え事が反乱断裂どこに送るあてもなく哀れな独り言記している天敵とにはこういうな恐怖が鉄板の中に混ざるビンデッシュの恋で右の向こうに黒草に皮がついてきているショックしてもショックしてもショックしてもショックしてもショックしてもショックしてもショックしてもショックしてもなくならないのどう見つくれていたのと叫んだ音がすぐに列をなさないであんなクイズの上腐りきったみたい月が迷っているのすぐそこまですぐそこまですぐそこまですぐそこまですぐそこまですぐそこまですぐそこまですぐそこまで何かが切っている覚えてないが作りもどうかしている泣いた線香が目に刺さるお別れの鐘が鳴る神悲した歴史の結ぶ答えます名も味がする振動変数
Yeah,
I love her
that's
so
our girl.
bad.
Very good cover.
Right? They did amazing.
Very good.
I love the cover. I'm very mixed about how to feel about ND2 right now.
That's
I
understandable.
personally feel like NT1 could never touch this level of quality without miles of more editing.
It sounds like she's more mature than version 1, but also it kind of sounds a bit like she's being forced to sing, which is kind of weird to say.
I get that. I like her a lot. I think I liked NT1. I was one of those people. I thought she sounded fun. and quirky, but just incredible, noticeable quality issues. And I don't really hear those as much, but it still feels like the same synthetic quirkiness where it's like, it feels like Miku V2, but with the clearness of V4X and with a new synthetic style, and I like it.
I wouldn't quite say it has the clearness of V4X. Not quite just yet, but I will say it is much closer to the V2.
Yeah,
Like in terms of quality and sound, it's gotten much closer.
Yeah,
It's not quite there yet, but it's closer.
Yeah, it sounds a lot more like your V2. NT kind of just, the first version kind of just sounded like its own thing, which is probably part of the reason why I personally prefer it a little bit more. But
Understandable.
NT2 definitely sounds like they're trying to push her back towards that V2 era sound, and that is something that's really nice. I do wonder if they're ever gonna make her unmuffled. I don't know if that's just like the recordings are that old, or it's just like that's a sound that they want, because we've seen the NT Super Pack and they aren't exactly the best with how they want certain sounds to sound.
Oh, the super pack.
yeah. I'm not sure.
I love getting a variety pack of different colored Mikus.
Oh no.
I'm gonna just, you know what? Let me just trash this thing. Those transitions were bad. Those tones were bad.
Yeah. Okay. I waited for
I saw
everybody else.
somebody. Yeah, go on, because I'm gonna be angry this whole time.
Yeah, okay, you could be angry in your corner while I bring the discussion back to NT2. I waited for everybody else to talk about NT2 just because I have some feelings on it. As somebody who has, over the past couple of months, thanks to one of my friends, been able to use both NT1 and NT2, I have multiple feelings. Firstly, NT2 is its own new standalone editor. So when you're getting NT2, you're getting essentially a new editor. It looks slightly different than NT1, but it has all of the same initial problems that NT1 had, where I routinely have issues with my audio devices not showing up. I have issues with it crashing. It bugs. There's times where it doesn't render properly. It feels once again like we're back in that initial like NT beginning era where Krypton doesn't know what they're doing and they don't know what they want. As for Miku NT2 herself, she is a lot more buzzy, a lot more tinny, and more robotic than NT1. And with the addition of that what is essentially auto pitch, with the addition of auto pitch into the NT software, it can get a little funky. It can get a little weird. Especially just I don't know what to think about the auto pitch. I don't like auto pitch, but parameters are different and they affect the voice differently. It's a little weird because you can just make her sound like a metal pipe. And whenever you're using the sill phoneme, you kind of have to be careful because she kind of chokes. She kind of chokes on both sill and H as ending phonemes. Overall, your general NT experience, pleasure to tune. Very nice, very beautiful once you know what the fuck you're doing. But, it can get a little bit messy for those who maybe are struggling to figure out how to mix Miku and had, like, just figured out NT1 and now they have to figure out how the fuck to deal with NT2's, like, difference in noise. But really that all of us are more so on the editor and how Miku affects the editor itself. And like how the editor affects Miku.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, maybe one day we'll get the other NTs, but for now, this is what we get.
Hopefully.
Lemon
I literally don't care about any of the other NTs. I just want CVO4. That's all I want. That's all I want.
TVO4.
Well, at least you know
That's
who
all I
you
want.
want.
TVO4.
Anyways. Oh, go on.
I feel like, just one more thought, she's simultaneously clearer and also simultaneously more muffled. And I think that's part of what the weird noise is, if that makes sense.
I think I have an idea what you mean.
Yeah.
I understand what that means.
Yeah. Like, she's just strange. But I like her a lot.
Her pronunciation feels a lot. At the same time, it feels more compressed in a way.
Yeah. It's like she got more dynamic, but then they compressed it.
Oof, that's a dangerous thing to do with y'all. That's dangerous.
Yes.
So we also need to mention that Selena has been released. We have covered her already. We know what she sounds like.
She's
Has
not
Selena
out.
been released yet? No,
No, she's not
still-
released.
She's not? What?
No,
That
no,
was
no.
out.
No,
she
she's
is
not out.
released.
Oh,
She just
whoops.
got a new vocal style announced today.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oopsies.
Selena comes out on the 22nd.
Yeah, sorry if you guys got excited. But she does
Don't
have two
mind.
new vocal styles. I think it's growl and I forgot.
It was
The
like
second one.
growl, heavy, and then something else.
Yeah, and that is so
Whisper?
cool. Whisper. I think
We
so.
wanna,
Coracle is
We
really
wanna go,
spoiling us.
we have examples of them or nah?
We do not yet.
They said that they are not going to be ready until an update because of some issues that they're having with them.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoops.
She's serving cunt still.
Yes.
Yeah.
What we have here right now, though, is just another demo from Tart. Because we didn't hear a lot of Selena. So if you just want to hear a little more Selena, go check this song out.
Revolver Girl.
We gotta keep an eye out for Selena.
Tried to speed up the draw, cause lately I've been sick of waiting to gaze down the scope of my lies on me. You bleed as light flows through the street to load a gun with like.
Love her. Love her.
Hey.
I have loved her since she released. I love her
Mother.
design. She feels very unique in design and voice, which is something.
Yes.
It's something you don't get to say about a lot of vocalists because they either follow the same Miku anime pattern. And it's like, oh, I'm an idol, or it's the same vocal tone.
Right, that's Selena. Celine.
Yeah.
Selena.
Not much else to say.
You gotta
We
keep
spoke
an eye
about
out
her
for
already.
Selena.
If you have never heard of Selena, you're like, what the hell are they talking about? Go to, I think, the past podcast episode. You'll see her in the thumbnail. She'll be serving in it. So just click that. We talk about her there.
Hey. She's serving boobas.
To be.
She's serving Booba and serving Boba.
She's serving Mother.
So, we got the next VX beta vocal being released. We have Kanon Kanade.
Yes.
She is also a VTuber like C-Chan. And she will also be coming with the V6 Lite editor. We all know what that is, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Something I need to download.
Yes.
Well,
Alex?
okay.
yeah.
So VX Or well, does VX Lite? No. Okay, so V6 Lite.
Basically, it's free V6. That's what it is.
Okay, at the moment, it only comes with VoiceBank. So I think if you were to buy Chichan, she comes with the Vocaloid 6 Lite editor.
It's with Citron and all the Internet Co. voice banks. Canon's coming out at the end of this month. You get V6 Lite with her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure VX Beta comes out this month.
Well, we're hoping. We're always hoping for VX Beta.
They said they would come out in November, so we hope it comes out.
I hope so.
Maybe it'll be around Black Friday, so they can do like a big sale around that. 'Cause that's when everybody's trying to buy things.
I mean,
That's true. I'm so excited. I can't wait to use VX Beta.
something about Yamaha is that they never really do Christmas sales, though. It's really strange.
Well, they are a Japanese company.
If they were a Japanese company, I'd actually expect them to do even more sales because of the way that capitalism is rampant around Christmas times in Japan. It's like just as bad, if not worse, than America. Have y'all ever heard of Christmas cakes or eating KFC for dinner?
I've
for
heard the
Christmas?
KFC thing. I've heard the KFC.
Yes.
The KFC thing was a giant advertisement thing, but it's just a very real thing that happens in Japan now because of all the advertisements.
I love it. Anywho, did we already hear what she sounds like, right?
I've not shown. Here's a sample.
夜よまだ帰れないでくれ夜よまだ小さな愛で何も知らないか舵を降りてさになんないでもう眠れないじっと閉じこ中眠れない誰のせいだっていうの
So yeah, she sounds cute.
One of the things I love, this is just something I like about V6 in general, is that they very much keep the Concat feel alive in the voice banks. And I can really tell that with this, even though it's probably been updated, the voice bank, it still feels like a really good mix between AI and Concat.
Yeah.
So that really makes me excited.
That's also
for
what I
release.
get.
It's very charming.
Something to keep in mind is that this is still her VX Beta bank, so I don't know if Yamaha will do any cleanup banks to port them over to V6 or anything. But as far as we know, all V6 AI banks should be cross-compatible with VX Beta, so you may be able to recreate the sound of the original VX Beta when this bank comes out and when VX Beta releases.
I think they said we get access to the old VX Beta voice banks along with the V6s.
Mm-hmm.
At least they said that with C-Chan. So I mean,
With
you're going to
C-Chan?
have both. Yeah.
Very nice.
You can have the VX Beta and the V6.
Very nice.
So we have Soyogi. You guys remember who that is? The voice Sona and Chevio voice bank, who is voiced by the voice actor. I do not remember his name, but he played Eren Yeager, and he was
Yes.
originally going to be CVO4.
Yes, for Krypton.
That show ended, and it was beautiful. It was a whole Nazi Holocaust reference. It was amazing.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's listen to this. Listen to the Soyogi. Oh my god, Soyogi kind of looks like a Nazi. Oh.
Stop! Okay, stop!
Okay, moving on. Moving on.
Okay. I will play a little sample of him.
Also, I know a person who literally has the demo for CVO4 out there. He has it saved. And he will not give it to me. I will find the person and I will give it to you.
その目を閉じて触れてみれば同じ形同じ体温の悪魔僕はダメってあいつはいいのそこに壁があっただけなのに生まれてしまった定めなげくな僕らはみんな自由なんだからと世界は残酷だそれでも君を愛すよ何を犠牲にしてもそれでも君を守るよ間違いだとして
He's very cool.
I don't like him, but he's whatever.
You're entitled to your opinion.
The only way I can describe him is he sounds like Kurobosuku with Genbu's weirdness.
He does sound weird.
I think that's just the flatness of the
He just
specific
sounds
cover.
weird.
I think Chevio, especially Chevio 2.0, when on like very flat notes with male singers, feels surreal or strange. I think the weird sound is just this cover, even though the cover is good.
You say that like they have male voice bank options.
They do. They have quite a few.
I'm pretty sure you can count them on one hand, though.
Yeah, but they all kind of like have this.
We have what's his face, Kirune, and
Yes.
Now this dude, and
MYK.
Mike, and Pepper.
There's male voice bank.
Pepper, yeah. Pepper's
Yeah.
technically a dude.
I did not know that.
We've also heard that rap voice bank prototype.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be fun to tune, and that's what I'm excited for. Like, he's very bassy, and I'm excited to mess around with that.
Oh hell yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I can hear in his voice the large amount of tuning possibilities with just pitch alone, and it's very exciting.
I don't have any specific comments on this because I've never heard this guy before, except for the fact that he just kind of blatantly sounds weird and oddly monotonous on the Chevio engine.
I feel like that's the tuning.
I think it is the tuning because I'm sure that you can make him very expressive, but
He sounds like he has potential that hasn't been reached.
I think I know how to
Yeah.
explain it. The sound I tried to explain earlier that I think happens in Voiceona or Chevio just a lot is the voice banks are incredibly dynamic. And when pitch is flat, it's like the expression almost sounds muffled, if that makes sense. Like, the voice banks are always performing very well. Like, there's always attack, there's always expression packed into every instance of it. But if you're not, like, mimicking that with your pitch or with your dynamics and whatever you're doing, it sounds uniquely flat. Like, in a way that no other engine really sounds. Like a type of compression that doesn't exist. If that makes sense.
yeah.
And I think that's what we're
that-
hearing here. You're
that
hearing
would line up.
potential. Trust me.
That would make sense with Voiceona and Shivio's way that they render vocals.
Yes.
It also would explain the way it handles engine noise. 'Cause
Yes.
I do feel bad for some voice banks on there.
Chevio
Yeah.
Buzzma hated.
I love her. I think if you open a Chevio file and it sounds like this, it's inviting you to tune it. Get very excited.
Well, Chevio, lover, hater, I don't know, but either way, we gotta move on to the next.
Yes.
We have some controversial voice banks,
Really?
apparently.
They
Yeah,
are.
I've seen some very mixed results or opinions from them.
Oh, they are very controversial.
I didn't know that. I thought they were like very, very liked.
Oh, they
They're-
were, and like on paper. It's just when we finally got to hear them, people were like, I don't know.
I see.
They
Interesting.
do. They still are very much in beta. They're still very much demos, but it's interesting how they sound very different. I love how Kyoteru sounds, but Miki.
let's
Let's
just
just listen
hear
to
it.
Miki.
さよならはいつも私だけボロボロにすれた言葉だけ身の丈に合わないことだけやりきれないのは私だけ人知れずにこぼれる
Yeah.
I feel like she sounds kind of like her Vocaloid a little bit. A little.
Yeah.
I hear it, but I also don't hear her.
Right. Now, if we need a reference about how Miki V4 sounds, like in comparison to, because everybody knows how her V2 sounds. Thank you, Circus.
Yeah.
I just posted a link. I'm gonna go dig for her voice provider because
One thing that I want to say is, originally I thought she sounded kind of just like voiceless, kind of like Defoku and Adachi Ray, but then hearing that, it kind of reminds me of the voice box humming in a way.
Oh, I can hear it. I can hear that.
And I'm not sure if this, like, because they are in beta, but I'm also really worried since they're supposed to release next month.
yeah.
What we get isn't gonna be what, like, could have been.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Let's hear Kyoteru.
僕らは出会うところ鍵をしたまま賑わう街明かりの中寂しさを抱えて影を伸ばしうつむいてる涙さえ乾いたヘッドフォンで塞いだ街中の
I'm gonna be so real with you. He don't sound nothing like his Vocaloid.
But he sounds so beautiful. He sounds literally just like his voice provider.
He sounds
Sounds
very
fun.
nice. Yeah.
The thing is,
Yeah.
I don't know how his Vocaloid voice bank sounds because I've only heard it like a handful of times.
His Vocaloid voice bank is a bit more like throaty and a lot clearer and more open.
Yeah, I can
But
definitely
the
hear
thing
it.
is, Kyoteru's VP is like classically trained as a singer, so it's kind of very apparent in the way that the synthy functions. Even just from these demos, you can tell, even if, you know, both of these banks have been trained for the same amount of time, etc., that you can just kind of tell with how he sounds that the synthy, like, mega model is really liking Kyoteru.
Yeah, I can definitely hear it. With Miki, she sounds like she's still getting there, and Kyoto sounds like he just needs a little bit of fine tuning. But
Yeah.
as it stands, like that could be released as a voice bank right now, and no one would really bat an eye.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
I think he sounds like he just from this one little sample, he's probably one of my more liked male voice banks on Synthv. He sounds very different than the current male lineup.
My only visible complaint with him is that he has the issue of synth v modern voice banks. A lot of them sounding way too realistic for my liking. But overall, he just sounds really nice.
I do feel that way about Synthie in general. But
I mean, some people like the realism, some people don't. I mean,
I'm not gonna like critique it. I think it's point. Like, that's what Synthie does. It's just not fully for me.
Yeah, it's not really for me either, but I appreciate it for people who do like it.
Yeah, period. Also,
it's
time
really
and place.
nice.
I fuck with it sometimes.
It's great to have the option. That's kind of why I'm like, that's why I like that Scivio kind of made a comeback.
Yes.
And then V6 has been picking up its slack. Is because it gives a lot of variety. Because to a community that's all about variety, for a while all we got was the exact same thing over and over again. The V3 era. It's nice that Synthie is going in a different direction from the others, because Voiceona and Chivio are still kind of in that, we want to keep it a little bit robotic area, but they're slowly moving away from it as with 2.0. And then V6 is just doing its own thing, and it's starting to work. It wasn't at first, because it was very much still a work in progress when they released it, but it's definitely starting to find its identity in the not so realistic, but still very much an AI voice bank area.
Yeah. And I can sneak her in, but there's also NT, which also adds to the variety.
Oh yeah, I want NT to succeed so bad. You don't know.
Yes.
I want it. We need a concave engine.
I interrupted Ocean. I apologize. What were you saying, Ocean?
Can we talk more about how Miki sounds here? Because in our little chat, I posted not only a clip of just Miki V4 being very wonderfully tuned by my friend and fellow cover artist Hua Style.
Wait, I just need to let everybody know this person is cool. I showed them some stuff in V6 and they're great.
They are awesome. We love Hostile. But I also posted a Saihate cover by Miki's voice provider, Miki Furukawa. And just take a quick listen, compare and contrast both how the V4 Vocaloid sounds and how Miki Furukawa herself sounds.
Oh wait, that was C-chan.
Oh, that was C-chan.
Well, we're here now. Okay.
So even if this is V4, it's just that Miki sound that we've all like grown to love. But
Sorry.
See, it doesn't sound like her Vocaloid.
I hear it, but it doesn't. I want to say Una sounds closer to Miki's V4 than Miki.
Yeah.
This may be a hot take. I don't know if it is. I think Una's sounds, I don't mind that Una sounds different from her Vocaloid banks, because I mean, like, I wouldn't want to see just Una sounding like her V4 banks with nothing new added, right? And
I mean, V6 is right there for that. So
yeah. I think and in the case of Miki, I feel like I like that Miki sounds a bit different. I don't know, because if I wanted Miki to sound robotic and like androidish, I would use her like her fucking old voice bank. But with this Synthie, I kind of feel like she's a little bit softer. I can still hear Miki's very distinct accent in the way that she pronounces things.
Yes.
And the rasp that she has.
But the thing is that she doesn't even sound that close to her voice provider either. She's in this weird middle ground.
No,
I think what it is it's Synthie's that little vector space they have. the voice that they mix in with the other voices to make
Mhm.
new voice. You know what I mean?
The
Yeah.
mega model
Y'all know what I
that they
mean.
use for training. I don't think it's necessarily the fault of the mega model, but it sounds like it sounds like Furukawa Miki was not given a whole ton of direction during recording.
Yeah.
And that reflected poorly into the voice bank itself.
I think another case we have that is Gumi is
Oh
because
yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I actually
vocal
like
modes are a
Gumi
thing.
AI.
There might be some vocal modes because, like Una, for example, I think out of box sounds pretty different, but when you put on power or whisper, it feels like spicy or
Mhm.
sugar,
Sweet?
sweet, yeah.
oh yeah, it was sugar. It was spicy
Sugar.
with sugar, wasn't it?
something. I think maybe Miki will have a vocal mode that makes her sound like more well-known stereotypical Miki.
I think
Mickey.
a lot of it. It's really giving me the same feeling that Psyflower had, where it's like
Oh yeah.
it's vaguely flower, but it's not. And then they corrected that with 2.0, where it's like, okay, yeah, this is
Wait.
flower, but 1.0 was kind of just like, I hear it, but I don't.
I can hear flower.
Yeah.
I can't really hear V flower at all in C flower. It just sounds reminiscent of it, but not quite.
Yeah,
Like, this is her.
it's like, oh, it's like her, but it's not. That's kind of what I'm getting from Miki here. It's like it's an entirely different direction, and without like Vocaloid's engine noise to help bring out certain aspects in the voice bank, it really just feels something entirely different than what we were originally expecting.
Yeah. So while I am excited to see how she turns out, depending on how, may or may not be a purchase for me actually, just because of the way that her demo is sounding right now. It's incredibly disappointing.
Well, I guess the thing we can all remember is we always have the old voice banks, y'all. We always got that.
That we do.
And then they discontinue V4 immediately after releasing it.
Brr. Okay, we got one more video. We got C-chan.
Chichan!
C-chan.
Yes, I'll play this.
何かがあったような気配真逆の踊る目逆さまだとして恋とは魅惑のプアイデンティティそれは思考のアイデンティティ
Thank you, awesome AC covers for the cover, by the way.
Right? They're so good. So yeah, she sounds... I love her so much. Like, she's literally one of my favorite V6s to tune now.
Real. I've not really
Ooh.
touched V6, but she seems cool.
God, her expression parameter. She goes from like ridiculously soft to ridiculously powerful in just like one parameter. It's crazy.
I see.
She's definitely a voice bank I want to see people use, and not just like, oh, I tried this voice bank out. Like, I want to see them actually use it just to see how she can sound. It's because the cover is good, but I feel like there's a lot more that can be done with her that I haven't seen, and I really want to see what can be done with her.
Yes, me too. Also, I feel like it should be noted that she sounds very different in quality from Fuiro here. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's just like the extra data that she got, or it was just extra love and care or updates, but she sounds better than Fuiro.
I mean, to be fair, they have been kind of neglecting Fuiro for a while.
Yeah.
That's true. I love Weiro. It's just he needs that extra data. Anyways, moving on. C-chan, I love her. Try her out. She's super powerful. Love her.
Chi-chan!
Other than that,
I don't think there is
I
anything
don't think we
else.
really have anything else.
Not really.
Yeah, that's it.
VVV.
Nil has released, and that's it.
Yeah, there's. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there's Luanon for Chevio, but like I'm tired. I'm sorry, team. I'm tired.
There's VVV.
You sound like you're done. So
Yeah. There's a VVV Music Live. I'm not going to talk about it, but if you're interested in virtual vocal synth concerts, they're doing another VVV Music Live, so you can search that up and it'll pop up. There's going to be many popular talk synths there. There's going to be Una, Gumi, Iya, and One, and more.
Oh wait, that's right.
Yes, so you can search that up if
We
you want to.
also we have the release of Ryusei for AI Voice 2 and Rhea for AI Voice 2.
Yes.
damn, Marie, you say simp.
And I don't
We
think there's
do. I don't know if I've ever mentioned, but there are like, I believe there is an Adachi Ray collaboration album going on at the moment. So
what?
that's
We're gonna-
interesting news from the community.
Thank y'all for coming out with me. It has been real. It's been very nice to catch up with you guys.
Yes, thank you.
Any last
Yay.
words?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was actually really fun being
Yes,
here.
welcome. Thank you for joining.
Of course.
Thank you for
Yay.
joining us.
Yeah, feel free to come by anytime you feel like.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening as well. All right. I think that's it.
Have a good night, you guys.
Yes. Bye.
Have a good night.
everybody.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
like and
Leave a
subscribe.
comment for the algorithm if you'd like to see
Mhm.
more of our content, or if we did get anything wrong, please let us know.
Argue with us.
Argue with us,
Cancel
debate,
us.
spread your opinions in the comments. Give us feedback.
Find my
We
friends
love-
and family and tell them bad things about me.
We love hearing other people's opinions. The Vocaloid community can be a bit of an echo chamber, so if you have a differing opinion, please, by all means, go ahead and tell us.
All right.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.